Hey, what's up? This is Scrembo from Emotional Crypto Trading, and today we're going to talk about Ripple. I'm in the middle of this price analysis, market analysis that I'm trying to share with you over here, and the Ripple price just exploded. It's 74 cents, guys, from like 24 cents 48 hours ago, which is an insane growth, unheard of, and not natural for Ripple's case, right? Especially at this numbers we're talking about. So let's just try and look at the market cap volume, 3.6 billion, insane, 27 billion market cap. Now, let's just look at the percentage growth, 51%, right? So Ripple didn't have that growth over the last few weeks, exactly like the entire space increased. We're talking especially about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dash, Litecoin, and so many other cryptos have increased dramatically because that increase brought up the market cap up to $500 billion. It's 506 billion right now from like 170, 180. We did have an explosion. Bitcoin took off, boom, up to a couple of hundreds of billions. Ethereum started, Litecoin started, Dash started, and so many other alts started to increase dramatically in the last few weeks, while Ripple was sitting relaxed and it wasn't really presenting any sort of parabolic movements. We're talking about this period right here. That period right there, nothing special happening with Ripple, while other big cryptos increased dramatically with high volume. So here's the thing. Bitcoin, Ripple was sitting around 23 cents, 22 cents, 21, 24. So it was averaging between those numbers, while no explosion happened. What just happened over the last few days and why all these movements is pretty simple. South Korea and Japanese banks announced that they started to conduct payment trials with Ripple system, right? So they started to test Ripple system in their banking system, looking for a smoother process, of course. Because this coin, let's say the truth, even though I know it has a lot of hate, let's say that truth people looking after, it has usability, it has a use for the banks. It definitely has that use because that's why it has been created by them in order to make their life better. So here's what you have to do. When you see this type of growth, you definitely have to be scared by not losing money if you do enter at high prices. This is what I want to talk about. This is why I'm intending to make this video presentation, right? So is this going to reach up to $1? That's a big question if we're going to see Ripple right now at $1. Now, in order to see it at $1, we need a huge increase from 24 cents down here up to the price where right now it's like 202% increase in 2 days and 12 hours. 2 days is 48 hours, 12 hours plus it's like 60 hours totally. 202% in 60 hours for a coin that was sitting in top 5. 202% 60 hours. That's unheard of, I tell you. That's extremely unheard of when we especially talking about that huge market caps and the battle that goes on right now between the alts. There's a limited amount of budget that comes in every single day, and that spreads between the alts, right? So it's currently the volume is 35 billion in the last 24 hours. That spreads between the alts and the Bitcoin. So there's a big battle going on right now. We have to be aware that Ripple cannot just continue up to 25 bucks per coin because the trading is not actually working like that. There's already a lot of people selling out, and you have to be aware and keep in mind and consider that the ones that bought Ripple down, and we're talking about the ones, let's just go here for the chart. Let's just go here for the chart and make a quick calculation. Look at the chart. Look at this. How does it look like? I mean, we did have a movement like that right here before around April, end of the April, but just make sure you see what happened after that. Just make sure you see what happens after that. Make sure you see how history looks. You always have to look left on the charts for the clues. You have to look for details, right? You want to look left and look left for details. So you see what happened after that parabolic movement that went up to 41 cents. I personally know a couple of guys who bought up here at 41 cents, and then they sold here at the bottom at 17 cents, unfortunately. But this is the way it happens. I'm sure that there's a lot of people who are going to buy right now around 70 cents or even higher if the market drives us a little bit higher, but still this is extremely high. You always want to look after entries. If you catch a trend like this, if you catch a train like this, that's gonna represent an explosion because the announcements were insanely high because of and valuable for us, as well as Ripple was kind of a giant that was sleeping, right? It wasn't really doing anything while all the other alts were exploding. So we're just like waiting to see Ripple following the same path, and it happened. Especially it came along with that announcement with South Korea and Japan banking system conducting payment trials with it, right? So that's something really important for us. Now you see, it's definitely risky when talking about 200% in 60 hours. It's not natural and it's not a good place to entry. On the other side, for people looking to get off, that's something you really want to do along the way. This is what I'm suggesting. When there are parabolic movements, you want to take out percentages of your trades. Depends how active you are. If you're more active, you can split your 100% purchase that you're having into more percentages, such as into more chunks, should I say. You can split it in 20%, 20%, 20, 25 times. So therefore you have 5 situations of 20% each when you get out. If you're not that active, then you can have 50% and 50%, and then you're out of the trade because you have to secure your profits. History teaches you, right? And we just have to look at what happened with Ripple over here. Of course, all the coins are pre-mined and they have access to manipulate the market like nothing else. Have to keep that in mind. So look what happened over here. It was a parabolic movement. We came down the way dramatically. I know a lot of people lost money during this period because that's the way trading works. 95% lose money on long term. Talking about minimum 1 year, they do lose money in this situation. So what I wanted to share with you, I wanted to go back to January 2017, which is kind of almost 1 year from now. So let's take a look at the price for January 2017, right? Where we are, December here down the way. Just look at my mouse, I'm following. It's kind of 0.006, right? So 0.006, we're gonna divide today's price. I'll just say 70 cents. 70 cents. 0.7 divided to 0.006. The price in 2nd of January 2017 compared to the today's price, it's a growth of 160 times, not percentage, times, right? So for every single dollar you have invested, you have $116. Now that means with a $10,000 investment, let's just assume $1,000 investment, you have $116,000 that you can kind of sell out right now, which is something that I would do, right? So $116,000 from $1,000 invested in January. On the other side, if you just go $10,000, that's $1.1 million that you could have made, and that would made you a millionaire from $10,000 just by holding a cryptocurrency from January till December, early January, mid-December, the same year, right? Nothing else. And in this situation, there are many other cryptocurrencies that we could give as an example. So once again, the profits that you have, looking at the history, just trying to look here at the top, how important it is to secure your profits you are able to accumulate and then wait. I'm one of those traders that can wait even 2 months for an entry, or 1 month, or it doesn't matter for me the time I'm waiting. It matters that it needs to be in a specific situation. Otherwise, I don't care what people say. No, it needs to be in a specific situation for me to entry, also in a specific way to sell out, of course. So I can definitely wait for the best entry possible that I could see using my skill sets, right? So that's kind of all about today's video presentation. Trying to keep this short, straight to the point around the price. You have to be worried when you see this kind of growth, because the pullback right now, let's do a little charting over here. We've got a nice support around 55, 57 over there. Nice support that we have to consider. So a pullback down to this position is welcome, in my opinion. Is welcome, is natural, and it's going to be normal. Depends how big is going to be the stick or the wick at the top of the last candlestick, because that's going to represent the rejection. You see already our 69 cents and we were up to 74. So I tell you, each candlestick right now over here represents 2 hours. And we're talking about Ripple paired with USD on Kraken exchange. So of course, there's already a big difference of 6 cents in this period. We're trying to look at the candlestick here. Going to zoom in a little bit and trying to see for this one, which is quite long, and measure the entire candlestick. It's 20% difference volatility in 2 hours. 20%. That's not the time you want to be involved into holding your trade, especially after this. That's 200% in 60 hours. Probably even less than that. Probably even less than 60 hours. So that's insane, unheard of for a coin that has such a high volume, especially at the numbers we're talking about right now in the market cap volume and so on, and the battle with all the other altcoins. It's look at this. Look at how the price is coming down the way when I'm making this video presentation. So you have to keep in mind that it's difficult for a sort of altcoin or Bitcoin to sustain its level at these prices after such a high growth, because there's a lot of people in huge profit. It's very, very difficult, and it's not natural to have a continuous growth of 400-500% without any sort of extremely valuable, should I say, and fundamental reasons. Now, even though we might get some reasons to see 400% growth for a specific coin if that happens, but that's not for this top 5 coins. That might be for something small cap. That kind of small cap that can go 500% in 24 hours or 48 hours or 72 hours, because that's going to collect a bunch of buyers considering the high values that were pronounced, right? So in this case, it's something different. We have to take it different. And just keep a close eye on the charts. This is what I'm suggesting right now, because there are high possibilities to see Ripple coming down the way. Now, you want to make sure that this coin is highly manipulated, because it's owned by the banks and they do have access to the coins they have. They are all pre-mined. Nothing is going around the mining system, right? So someone has access to these coins. Of course, now it's really up to them if they want to use them or not. I don't know that. We just want to look at the charts to see what's going on, and if there is a movement that represents the whales, we do want to be involved in that right away. So here we go. This is where we are. This is pretty much all about. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to check the first link in the description area for my Royal Coaching Program, where I can teach you to be a professional trader on my one-on-one coaching, right? So thank you so much. Feel free to share, subscribe, comment, and tell me just whatever you think about this coin, because I like to hear your feedback, guys, and go on with it to become better on my YouTube channel. So that's kind of all about. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next videos.